Yo, what is going on, guys? Godrekton here, today bringing you another VOD review. And in this game we are playing against an Irelia top lane. Overall, Irelia is pretty easy, but a lot of new players that do play into the Irelia matchup get very cautious and they play very safe. Now, I do recommend this the first few levels, but overall, the matchup is pretty easy. As long as you're like playing around like what minions are low and not being there for her to capitalize on a combo, most often than not, you're pretty much winning the matchup because you can't really guarantee trades and you can kind of have like easy windows to abuse her as well. But we're going to talk about all this anyways further on in the video. So far, I start longsword free potions. I think it's pretty standard in this lane. The extra potions, just, you know, 450 health worth of like just potions is really huge. Some people like going D-Shield and like D-Blade, which you can do, but I think the overall effectiveness out of like the start is just way better if you want to Snowball or Renekton, which pretty much is the point to picking the champ in the first place. So this is kind of like why I opted into Longsword 3 in so many matchups, and I did get asked this question in I think a couple videos ago now, and that's kind of like my whole premise. Like, you wanted to snowball, and there's not another better option than that than going longsword free potions in a matchup that kind of guarantees that outcome, because it's pretty hard for Irelia until she gets items later on. But through this game too, I'm going to cover over how to stomp an Irelia to a point where she doesn't get to scale. So yeah, let's lead into the game. So straight away we go into Tribush. Pike players tend to love invading early on, whether that's bot side or top side. In high elo, they actually invade top side more often than bot side because, you know, everyone's pretty, you know, it's kind of predictable at these points. Like, oh, they have a hook champion, they're going to clearly go bot lane. But no, in this range, like Masters Plus, a lot of people actually opt into the top side invade because that catches a lot of people off guard. And knowing that there's a lot of top laners, including myself, that ends up dying to these type of things, like, it's kind of common knowledge now that most invades will happen top side. Hence why we're stacking here. However, Fiddlesticks didn't care. Like, before we got here, he was just like, oh, I don't care, I'm just going to go to my buff. So, it was pretty troll of him to do this. And what ends up actually happening is that they do invade here. And we nearly get the Pike, but he flashes out. Pretty good prediction. Well, not prediction, but reaction, rather. If Fiddle was here, though, he could fear instantly, or silence. And then I could get my W off, and we'd actually get a kill on Pike. So, unfortunately to us, Fiddlesticks didn't come. Pretty, you know, he had the solo queue attitude of, oh, I don't care. And yeah, we lose out a kill, but we do get a flash. So, not the worst thing. And we keep all our summoners still. So next thing, they're actually invading again here this time, where Fiddlesticks is here and I'm not there at this point. But nothing else really materializes here except for buyback just to get my HP back. So I lost like 100 and I just want to be full health in the lane. I'm just waiting here in case they begin to like invade again, so I'm just kind of covering this sector. Because we don't know if like the Silas is still here. Actually, I think... No, he had to recall, actually. Never mind. I don't know. At the time, I guess I'm just here in case, like... I don't know. Irelia is there. Although, she wasn't, because there's no reason to be there. The Silas was chunked. But I think in the moment, I wasn't exactly looking, which was a mistake on my behalf to not have that information. And again, information is key. I could have, like, just already been in the lane, but I just stood here for whatever reason. Right, so come to the lane. Irelia has D-Blade Potion, pretty standard. I have W start, and she also has E start level 1. So it's actually quite like a peculiar level 1 instance where we both have our stuns, which isn't exactly ideal. Irelia wants to take Q so she can like Q onto all these minions and force a trade, which is often how Irelia players actually win the Renekton matchup early. They try and go for this cheesy play, and then try and just, like, trade against Renekton. Renekton can take W, but overall, he's still going to lose. Based on the fact that, Irelia gets more autos in and Renekton doesn't. I can build Fury, and I do have the health potion benefit here to sustain. Or she has one. But overall, I don't really want to be in this situation. I just want to get level 2, level 3, and then I can start going aggressive. But because I figure out that she takes E, I can actually opt to go pretty aggressive here with my W start. I think I need some extra game sound. Let me turn this down too. Alright. So I'm just zoning her off. Now, because I know she has E, Irelia cannot walk up. And I'm pretty sure she knows that I have W as well, so that means I can just zone her off the wave. So I'll do this, she walks up. So to my, like, you know, to my game plan where I want to zone her off and punish her, I try and cut the distance now. I walk towards here. If I walk straight like this, Irelia could just, like, walk down. I wouldn't get the best trade outcome there. So I try and cut her off by walking this way. I dodge the stun as well. I auto her. Auto again to proc the bone plating. And then I land my W. It does get cut by her bone plating, but it's still, like, good damage here. She levels up now. I take, what do I take here? I don't remember. I think I take E. Yeah, I mean, I should take E. I know there's a VOD I was watching where I did take Q. But, yeah, I take E here. Because when you take W level 1, that gives you any insurance to, like, force trades and kind of capitalize on people that are low if you've already cheesed with W, or even E start level 1, which is pretty viable into certain range matchups. Or things that lack mobility and like stuff that you can like pretty much kill easy level 2, like Kale, for instance. He lands a stun there. Overall, I'm just trying to build a slow push at the moment. So my idea could be to, you know, crash the third minion wave with the cannon here, get a cheater recall, or I can just kind of like slow push the wave and then roam if Fiddlesticks needs me. So we see that Silas is here. I did drop the ward around like 2:30. So I kind of gather the intel that, you know, Silas is here now. They do also have an action likes to roam a lot as well early, so it's in my head that it could be a potential play topside, or even bot side, but I think we're looking more towards topside here to abuse a Renekton pick into Irelia. Like, their win con is practically to get an Irelia ahead this side of the map, so then she can 1v9. This champ is ridiculous, so if they aren't playing to that win con, it's like severely I mean, it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, you want to play for your carries, so yeah. So if we just go back real quickly too. So Irelia has her stacks up. One of the most important things about this matchup, or just like playing against Irelia in general, is watching her stacks. So right now she has 2. So she's looking for a third minion. I'm next to this low minion here, so what I want to actually be doing is walking out, because I should know she lands on this, and then as she does this, she'll drop her E on the minion to mask the stun. It's like a pretty like advanced Irelia combo. So they'll Q E at the same time on the minion, and then they'll like press E really fast, like in my direction. So I get hit by the stun, and then that gives like a free all-in window for Irelia. So what I want to be doing here is not stand near these low HP minions, because that gives it a free chance for Irelia to all-in me. And being Renekton, like with this start, like I really don't want to be losing health. So I see the minions here, I start walking back. I'm just kind of like going in and out here to kind of, I'm expecting the movement to happen. That's why I keep clicking in and out. So it's slow enough now, I back away. Just clicking around. That could have hit me there. I could have definitely played this a little bit better. But overall, it works. Sorry, I'm trying to turn this music down. It's really loud for me on my computer. Bear with me. Alright, there we go. So I just noticed I'm streaming on my... Oh, so I'm recording a video on like my... like the wrong preset. Not really, I thought out recording yet. So I land the Q here, get a bone plating. She wastes W. This now gives me a trading window. Every time this is on cooldown, this gives me a window to trade. Her W is 20 seconds, my E is 18 seconds. So I can have a window where I also abuse that, like before her W comes back up. So right now, I'm just kind of looking for the moment. I'm just walking down with W. I do kind of just like fail to click her here, because I'm Not really playing this the best, but then I go in, W, auto Q, then I E out. So I'm playing up here again because mid lane is missing, and Sylas still could be over here because Crab just spawned 4 seconds ago. So I'm trying to play a little bit passive here. Kind of waiting. Something to happen. Fiddlesticks, like I also ping that someone could be here, and Fiddlesticks ends up aiding me by walking into this bush to create the counter gank. I'll try and push this in, build Fury as well. Dex is also coming up to assist. We catch that actions on the way. Sylas is here. Now, they don't know Fiddlesticks is like with me. So what I'm going to do is just walk in the bush, walk to the left towards Fiddlesticks, do tank the stun. So in this moment, Irelia is in Fog of War. I can't really just get to her effectively. Sylas is feared. Action is walking here. Now, Action is probably the squishiest person here. And he also took magic resistant runes against the Vex, and obviously Fiddle as well, it's good for. So the best choice here is for me to actually engage on the Action because he's the squishiest member and I have enough Fury to go for the one shot. So this is what I'm going to do here. I flash W instantly with the Ignite, auto, Q, secure the kill on him. Irelia is low as well, dies in the crossfire. I get out, survive a triumph, and just like that we bait a really good fight due to my team also playing it very well. Really good counter engage here. So here we back. I think prior to these games, I was actually a little bit tilted. I had like a really bad day where I did drop out of Masters. But I'm still playing in Masters MMR, so I'm also going to put that as the video thumbnail. But yeah, like, I don't know, I was just having really bad games, and I was just getting like a bit unlucky too. So I ended up dropping out. And this game, I wanted to opt into playing Godrekton Rush. Godrekton isn't bad, especially with Snowballing, because as long as you're ahead, it's giving you like a stat check over your enemy. And being able to be a stat check in this, like, you know, state of the game, it's pretty huge because no one can out-trade you and you can just kind of run over people. That's why champions like Mordekaiser, Urgot, Set, any of these bruisers that have a lot of base damage too, like, can just kind of roll people if they get like an inch of a advantage. Renekton's not exactly the same way because for him, he has to use his entire combo, while a lot of these other champions can effortlessly just win like stupid fights. So it still requires like some skill to pull off, like with the advantage. But yeah, I'm just gonna go Godrekton here to be safe, and my team doesn't really need like a damage carry, so that's kind of my thought process in this game. I'm just playing to be stable and just be like a front line and just kind of have stats over like my enemy. But most often, I probably would rush Blair Ruin King here, which I would highly recommend instead as well. So I notice Irelia has full stacks. Again, we're just going to wait. Don't really want to be taking the wrong fights because any misstep that I make will put me in a really bad advantage. And for the killing of Irelia, she has Ignite too. And in this meta with like top laners taking Ignite, you don't really want to fall behind against them because the game is basically over at that point. So we don't really want to play into that of giving them an advantage again. So just gotta play it safe. I EQ in, I avoid the stun, get the bomb playing as well, and we get out. I could have W'd, but if I did that on her W, my damage would be like nullified completely, as it's blocking 45% of my damage, which is pretty huge. And the fact that I'm hitting her means the minions around me are going to be doing more damage too. Get the auto W. This is what I mean, like, even when ahead, it was still, like, kind of close. I mean, we're just a little bit ahead, but yeah, like, even then, she used, like, 2 of her abilities, and that alone will still, like, aid her because she gets, like, an extra... How much damage is it? 23 magic damage on hit, combined with the Conqueror damage, which is... I don't really know right now. I can't really check. You know, she's getting, like, over 10, 1280 or something. So we still have to play it smart, so I'm just backing out here. Just being wary. She is for the taking, though. My E's coming up any second here. So I'm just going to look for the EQ trade here. And like that, we just get the kill. Irelia just kind of greeted and didn't respect the fact that I could still kill her. And she had flash as well, so it was really weird. I don't know why I just pressed back, didn't mean to do that. It's already been 15 minutes for a 5-minute game. I probably should do a better job at actually not slowing everything down, but I'm just kind of explaining my thought process too into these games. And I'm trying to give like more insight into a game that was relatively short as well, so that kind of is probably like why the reason I'm stalling out a little bit. But maybe you guys like that and want to like just hear my full insight on stuff. Yeah, right now we killed the Irelia, want to crash the wave. It's a cannon wave as well, so it gives us enough time to reset. So crashing the cannon wave, and we get our back. Next side by Spike Whip, Control Ward. I'm also going Tabbies as well. The whole team does a lot of on-hit damage, so going the Tabbies is basically nullifying that completely. If you're ahead and you want to stay ahead and not like take really bad fights and lose, like it's pretty helpful. It's pretty like card proof in a way. So if you buy this, like you're not really going to be dying, and that's why a lot of top laners typically buy it if they are ahead against the Renekton as well, because it does so much help against that. So we have the wave coming back, and I don't want to just shove out here because I don't know where Silas is, and again, I don't want to give over my lead and just die to a stupid gank, so I'm just going to let Irelia kind of just work here and do what she needs to. But in the moment, I do go for the all-in, which I kind of forgot I did. And I just kill her like that. Because she kind of just like blew all her stuff away. And we're going to watch that again. She gets a stun, gets a bunch of stacks. Gets my bone plating. She used a lot of her damage too on my bone plating, so it barely did anything. I did more damage alone because Irelia tanked like minions and just a couple of my autos were enough in a queue. So I auto here. I'm never blowing my damage on a W, so any matchup like Garen or Jax, anything that has damage reduction in that kit, I hold my damage until like that ability is on cooldown. So here, I'm just kind of waiting. I ult. Just build Fury, preemptively just, you know, tank extra damage too. I auto, I W Spike Whip, EQ, auto. Well, auto E, I mean you get the point either way. we just kill her, roll her over, and she's dead. Put the control ward down now. Now here I will actually just shove the wave, just want her back. Use her playing as well. I actually get 2 here, just because I have a cannon wave. It's able to like tank more damage on the tower. Tank this now. Just gonna stay in the lane a little bit longer. What I could have done here is I actually could have dragged the wave. I mean, it's still going to push to my side. But I could drag it like closer to here, so the wave pushes faster towards my side, because obviously with the next wave like meeting here before my minions do, it's just going to like do more damage like before the other wave comes and then pushes out towards my side, so could actually get a freeze. I do recommend freezing here. I didn't really utilize it much in this game, but I will have a game where I do utilize freezing a lot more, which you will see in the next video also. Yeah, it actually doesn't. She actually doesn't really do anything, so my wave's just pushing back. I figured she might just like try, but she's kind of just letting this happen so someone can help her lane, like Silas or Action. But obviously right now, nothing's really working, and I think pushing out would be the last thing she wants to do against the Fed Renekton. AQ here for the bone plating. I whip as well. My Vex is insanely fed. Pretty great stuff. So right now, I can actually just proxy if I wanted to. This is like very greedy and egotistical of me, I won't lie. Like doing this when I already have 1.5k is pretty idiotic, because I could die now and then give up my bounty to these champs that like just, you know, become hyper carries and do a lot of damage. Yeah, I see the pike and I instantly get out because I'm just like, hell no, I ain't staying here. I'm not giving my gold to a Kaiser or Action or whoever's coming. So I just kind of come back over the wall and then we just crash this in. And then because it's a cannon wave as well, Gives me enough time to not really miss anything, because as I come back, the wave's going to be pushed towards my side. So we're back for the Godrekton, and just like that, I practically can't die now. Miss a couple minions in the process, but it's not really anything. Irelia are also just like backed. I'm just got a hard push here too. And at this point, I can actually just like zone her from the tower completely, but because I did place a ward here too, I'm just gonna respect the fact that Silas is here, maybe action comes up. I didn't know where he was at the point of doing that, so I just respected the fact they could come top lane and try and shut me down. Although, I'm pretty sure I just 1v3 at this point, so it's not like it's really ever going to go well for them. But Action does get a double kill bot lane, so in this moment, knowing where he is, I do have fiddlesticks coming. Now, I can either let the wave push towards my side and freeze, deny Irelia CS and force it to roam and just do nothing. Or we can just crash the wave in with Fiddlesticks ult and then like force a play. So I actually opt into the Fiddlesticks dive here because, I mean, he's around here, I may as well utilize that. And I could still make Irelia miss a lot of CS and XP by killing her. And it's more of a mental blow as well that she died again, so that's kind of like what I opt into here. I end up just like going for the dive. To Q the wave. She uses her stun. Now, unbeknownst to her, she now gets stove, and just like that, you just pick up another kill. Having a cannon wave to dive with as well is like really insane. And if you're either planning a dive, make sure it's like on a slow push or just like a cannon wave itself, which can tank harder and also do more damage to the person that you're fighting. Because if they do hit you in the tower, they're tanking all these minions, and all those minions add up. Like, you know, 49 damage from a cannon creep, and then you have all these casts as well with 35. Like, that adds up quite a lot. Obviously, armor factors into taking less damage, but that's easily like over 100 damage here. That's being applied to like an Irelia or whoever that you're trying to dive in the moment. So that on top of all these spells and stuff, like it's just pretty much an insta kill. So make sure to be diving like with a big minion wave. Very important. So what I can do now is I can just take platings and then reset, or I can let my minions die. Now, I think I shouldn't really be hitting this, but I think in my head it's like, okay, I can take one more plating and then I can just take all these minions here and let my own minions die. And that's what I end up really doing. So I take the plating. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to back either, but I end up wanting to stay. So then I'm like, okay, wait, why am I hitting this? I should let all my minions die, which is killing, you know, Irelia or whoever's chances of getting XP and gold. And I should just zone her from the tower. I shouldn't hit it that much, but I hit it enough to a point where, like, it's low enough for me to take as well, if I want to do that. I see that Silas is bot side, so I can just sit here, let all my minions die. 100 like, gold worth of XP is just dying right here, that Irelia cannot take, as well as, like, a lot of XP as well. So I'm just waiting here, just cutting off Irelia's chances of coming in. Now, her being very tilted, she wants to run to the tower just to get minions, so this gives me a great opportunity just to, like, zone her. Sidestep the E, auto the bone plating, she panic W's, I'm just waiting around, I auto WR, Godrekton, E, Q, and then I would auto attack too, if she didn't die so quickly, but she ends up dying instantly, and just like that, she misses way more stuff, but do I end up hitting this, or do I just let it all die? Okay, I do let it all die. That's like the best play to do. I wasn't sure though. Sometimes I get a little bit too impatient, and I miss out on an opportunity to like put a champ like this behind. And in a game where you want these carry champs like Akali, Kiana, like Irelia, anything that hyperscales, like you put behind, like that ends up like making them stay behind because they get mega tilted on these champions. Like these champs that have all these mechanics and stuff. And being that we're a Renekton that wants to put as much effort as we can into the early and mid game, this is basically key to like stomping and staying ahead. So if you aren't doing this into matchups that need to scale to get over you, you should be definitely implementing this in your gameplay. So that's kind of like This is kind of like the main narrative of the video, like how to properly stomp a matchup. This is how you stomp. Now, Irelia could be even like more behind in CS if I played it better. But even if I don't play it as best as I need to, like she's still behind and it's still good enough to like have this advantage currently. Like perfect CS, like this kill lead and assists. A Godrekton, what was it, 9 minutes, 8 minutes? Like, pretty huge stuff. So definitely try and do this more often in your gameplay if you're not already. I highly recommend. I need to drink my water real quick. I should have actually just hit the tower there instead of letting the cannon take more damage. It's actually not worth to like lose that much health. Only if it's like tower has more health and will kill the cannon creep. Where it matters. I do see that everyone's bot side and they were trying to like go for some weird dive. So here I'm just like kind of staying. I do miss an EQ there. And next, my next objective basically at this stage is just to take like everything I can get. So any jungle camps like this, I'm going to deny the Silas from scaling. He's already behind, so not only am I putting Irelia behind, but I'm putting the jungler behind as well. So I'm just starving them of resources. And as a top laner, you kind of want to play for this. So next we take the Gromp. I'm just waiting here in case Irelia pushes up, but she shouldn't be that dumb. Which she isn't. Now I end up looking for a recall. I think I do. Okay, no I don't, because I'm a greedy bastard and just want to stay. I definitely just want to... I think I was just like memeing a lot this game too, like I just wanted to stay and like get as much gold as I could. So I think I set up a dive here again too, and before I do that, I make sure to get a bone plating. Before every dive, make sure to get rid of the bone plating. This negates so much damage that if you are like not getting it, you're basically going to miss a kill and it's going to backfire. Like 48 less damage from 3 attacks or spells, like that's huge. That is very huge on each proc of the bone plating. So it's in our best interest not to be just wasting all our damage on the rune. Just like proc it with a Q or auto attack, then get out. So now that that's out the way, I can look for a play on my R. She has no stun next, so again I can go for this if I want, but I don't think I actually go for the dive here. Yeah, I just do a bit of damage, but nothing really interesting happens.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
We'll just speed it up a little bit. I'll just push the wave in. Next I go into the jungle. Place a ward here. Very great ward if you want to like have coverage of mid lane and from their base. So anyone that walks up and I'm like here or here, we're going to have intel who's walking up. And then my team can abuse that too because they have knowledge that someone from another lane is over here. So it's very important to drop this ward down here. Also, shout out to Amumu. I love that ward. Taking some more camps here. I should back. I'm actually a bit annoyed watching myself just not back here. This would be a nightmare for anyone to watch. I think I just wanted Blair Ruin King. That's why I stayed. So Irelia is doing all these like mental gymnastic things. I then E in this direction because I see that as a minion. Also here. This is another thing. Let's just go over this in more detail. She thinks that I backed and then she's just wasting her spells too. In this point. So it's like a perfect opportunity like just to come in. So I E to cut the distance. I Q in, try and proc the bone playing, but I didn't. Next is like 2 minions here that are low. She wants to Q, and if she had flash, it could flash away. Or at least cover distance towards a teammate or the tower. So I know she does this. I E backwards into her direction, proc the bone playing. I auto again. No bone plating now. WR, Godrekton, auto. Keep autoing, Q, auto E, and then I'm out. I don't really need to do a full combo. A lot of it's just kind of waiting and walking with her, spacing my damage out. That's kind of what I'm doing. Please back. Please, for the love of God, back. Thank you, Ryan. I don't know why I stay this long. 3.7k gold. I never advise anyone to stay as long as me, but with this game being a stomp, I can kind of get away with it, so... Get my Blair Rune King and my steel plated caps, or is that even what it's called? Plated steel caps. I always get it wrong. I either call it tabbies, which was the old name, or I call it, like, what I just did. Steel plated caps or whatever. Next I roll mid lane. I see that Vex is low. I was just heading over here. I buy a red trinket too, just so I can like walk in fog of war and clear wards that are around any enemy vision. I see there's a ward here, just clearing. See there's another ward, clearing what I can. Fiddlesticks is walking with me. Everyone on the map is like missing at the moment, so they're either running up to me or they're trying to do something bot side, but right now we only have Intel in action. That is already low, so it's not really... We're not really expecting anything here, so I think everyone's just going to come topside. That's like what's running through my mind. But being the greedy person that I am, I just run to the minions, clear the cannon wave. We see Silas is here. Trying to walk over there. Now, I couldn't get in because I had no E. I mean, I could wait a little bit longer, but he's dead anyways. Like, he started pinging me here like I could do anything, but... I don't know. He kind of just got caught out alone and I wasn't in position. Maybe I should have been closer to him, but I went for the minions instead because by the time that I saw him, like, he already engaged on Fiddlesticks and then he's dead. So right now, I'm in a 1v3 situation. I am level 12 with Blair Rune King Bork. I mean, sorry. Blair Rune King and Godrekton. There we go. Brain is not working today. I have flash up. Out of all these targets, I think I want to kill Kaiser first. Although, I don't think it was the best idea, but it doesn't really matter. They're all, like, pretty weak. I'd rather get rid of the Kaiser, just so, like, there's no ult factor and all these other things. So, he hits me here. I RW, just for Fury building. Go for that. Actually, was it RW? I never play with this skin. I have to, like, make sure I'm just saying the right thing. So I'm not misleading. Use W. Yeah, it was actually R first, so I could tank more damage and build Fury. And I did W, Godrekton, E, Q, Auto. Just following along, spacing my E's out. 2 kills, sidestep for Silas. So I get hit here. I could, like, E over the wall, but I know that Irelia is going to jump over, so I'm just kind of waiting here. Action is an extra die. This game is just a clown fiesta. And just like that, we basically 1v4. Basically. So what's next? How are we going to end this game? It's 9-21. This game could easily, like, carry over to a point where, like, we throw all our gold advantage and then, like, they get ahead. Like, they have a lot of champs at Snowball, remember. Like, while this game, like, is pretty, like, evident that, okay, we're gonna keep winning, it's very easy for players to throw their leads away and then kind of throw the game overall. And I think the next thing I want to teach right now in this game is how to close the game out effectively. So I'm this fed, Vex is really fed, my teammates aren't exactly that strong. If anything, if me and Vex kept dying, they would just get ahead and win the game. Because the rest of our teammates aren't exactly strong. And we don't scale unlike them, like, as well. Like, obviously Vex can one-shot and whatnot right now, but if they buy some magic resist and just get their main items, like, we're kind of nullified in many ways. Also, Aphelios does get strong, but I think their champs are pretty strong. I don't know what Kaiser was building, though. I think she was going the AP build, but it just was very weird. I don't know, it just looks really weird to me. So I do want to just try and close out the game as fast as I can, just killing people here. We see that dragon's coming up very soon. I'll put this up. I wish this would, like, come on, like, every time I look at a replay, but it just doesn't. So anyways, we want to play a macro. We kill 2 people. Want to push for towers here. I'm fed enough where we can just walk here and take that in. So we do that next. Do keep in mind that once taking the inhib mid lane at this time, you have to end the game. And if you don't, all the enemy is going to like get all the super minions that come mid, and that just gives them like a lot of gold, XP, and that's like a way people can get back in the game too. So we don't really want to throw. I do signal to be careful here because I kind of want us out the base. Like, we don't need to overstay. There's no reason to be here and throw the game. Obviously, I think we can just win. But if it was like another game like this where people just start dying and whatnot, then we can clearly lose. And it's happened to me like too many times where I have to warn you guys like what I'm doing to like is not ready to play. So right now we back away, going to recall. We do get the dragon. Next up, we want to just like pressure our lead on the map. We want that Baron as well as soon as it's up, but I can't remember if we get the Baron here. We should get Baron though. Yeah, I'll just walk on the opposite side of the map. There's no point going mid lane. There's nothing to really do here. We just want to like take everything one by one. So taking all these towers, inhibs, and then have all the super minions just, you know, collide and just kind of create havoc for them to a point where they can't defend. Right now, I want some backup. I'm just kind of like, I'm not trying to push like too hard because I feel like I can get collapsed on. That's why I'm like having these little stutter steps, just waiting. It's a build Fury here. I do see that they're like walking down. Next we just take the next inner. My team's fighting. And here we're just going for the end. We can basically end here. I thought there was going to be more that was going on, but there actually wasn't. So maybe it's not the best game to VOD review, but I just want to warn you guys of like some of the things that could go wrong as well. Because I feel like that's like one thing I can teach as well with this VOD. Or like at least give my input as well as the stomping in Irelia. Also, next up with my build as well, I do go the Death Stance. This build is probably like my favourite build at the moment. I do like this a lot. You're basically unkillable with these items, unless the enemy has like high AP threat. But even then, you can grab like a Force of Nature or a more Mortius now, after the buffs. Really good item. And you can just kind of solidify yourself as being this unkillable bruiser with a lot of damage. Definitely an S tier build, if you ask me. But anyways, we just close out the game now. I thought we was going to do like a little bit more, but clearly not. My team's trying to go for the end kills, but I'm just rushing because I don't want any potential ways the enemy can come back, and I'm not really bothered playing this out any further. But yeah, that is how to stomp an Irelia and also use your advantage to basically end the game, because practically it was basically me and Vex that were just kind of doing all the work. I mean, my teammates didn't do bad. They did pretty well overall, but it was like me and Vex kind of just hard winning the game. Yeah, hopefully you guys have a better understanding how to beat Irelia in lane. Definitely not a hard matchup than people make it out to be. One of the more easier ones. I probably will try and get a better matchup guide in the future with this matchup, where it's not just a stomp, but I know some people want to see me like stomping too, and I'm very iffy on these type of games because it's kind of hard to learn something, but I think of how I played it and like what I'm trying to explain as well with what can go wrong. I feel like it's not the worst VOD I could have done. But if you guys want like better VODs that aren't just these type of stomps, then make sure to leave it in the comments below, because again, I want to provide the best content for all you guys, and I also want to learn myself with like things I could do better and whatnot by watching my own gameplay, which overall maybe helps you guys understand too, like my overall mindset to improve when wanting to climb as well. But yeah, that basically wraps up this video. Hopefully you guys all learned something. If you like the content, make sure to leave a like. If you want other types of content or there's something that maybe I can improve on, leave in the comments below. And if you want to see more of me, then hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.